D1, baby. We're live. We're live, baby.
We're live, okay.
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
shit, we're live.
Thank you, Mickey,
Bro.
for warning, and I'm eating my soda crackers. Great.
D1.
Sorry, guys, give me a second. Jay, can I get
Yeah. So we got a chock full packed episode with a bunch of news for you guys. Obviously, Trump was being fingerprinted, mugshotted in Georgia today. The whole idea is, who hasn't been following, it's a RICO case. Basically, what a RICO case is what a bunch of people basically get together to create a criminal organization to do something. You bring up, law keepers bring up a RICO case against them. So in this case, this was them colluding to mess with the votes for 2020 election votes, 2020 election votes. Specifically in Georgia, where a bunch of people called the commissioners and said, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. So basically what they're saying is, y'all bunch of people got together, you created this criminal organization with an attempt to nullify actual votes because you didn't want to win. Well, or you didn't believe that you lost. You didn't want to lose, yeah. So he landed in an airport. They drove him with a motorcade to the jail, took a picture of him, took fingerprints, and they said that he had to post $200,000 bail, but it's not really what it is, and they let him go, and then went back straight to the airport, and then flew him right out. That was the end of that, right? Like everybody's making a big deal. Oh, he's getting charged. Nah, bro.
Well, they were from what I heard, like the people in Georgia themselves were talking shit about what they were gonna do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they were gonna book him like a normal person, and that he was gonna sit in a cell for a little while, and all these things.
Yeah, bullshit.
Bullshit. Right?
Bullshit. They said all
Alex called it. He's like, they're probably just talking shit.
Yeah, of course they call it talking shit. I mean, how are they gonna think about it, bro? Like,
Just pull up there.
He
Do you
actually
think-
hired Lil Babies and a bunch of artists. Like, there's a very famous lawyer who represents all these like rappers, and he's the one that also represented Gunna.
Okay.
well, are you talking about the Trump's?
Yeah. He has
Trump's
a new
team?
lawyer. Yeah.
Well, he just changed his team 2 hours before the whole freaking thing.
Well, it's probably that guy's firm because that guy's. Yeah.
Guys, make sure to hit like, subscribe.
Yeah,
Please let
guys,
us know
please
you're
do
in the
that,
chat.
yeah. Now we have a bunch of news articles for you that I want to kind of go over with. But number one, hey Mickey, can you pull this up real quick for me?
Yep, just let me know when you have it up and I'll switch
Yeah,
it.
it's open right now.
Alright.
So average auto loan rates as of August.
Jay's going at
20
the people in the shorts.
Yeah, I am, because these bunch of people came out with their limited amount of experience on auto loans, or if they worked in a dealership, or they've heard their local dealership selling a car at X percentage, and they try to talk. This is from USA News. Average amount of loans for August. As you can see, these are the rates, and they're gonna fluctuate back and forth a little bit, obviously here and there.
But it's giving you like a breakdown of like depending on their credit score and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the credit score right there.
Yeah.
And this is the breakdown: new car loans, used car loans. So the point here is that these loans are high. Now, is there a dealership, let's say a Honda dealership offering Honda vehicles financed by a Honda dealership? I'm sure there is at 4 or 5%. I'm sure there is, but overall national average.
I saw a chart that still said that even if you have a 850, like it's not as high as I think you said 850 is like 9%, but it's still in like the like. I think it said like minimum like 4 to 6%.
That's it.
Which is still like high for that high of a credit.
Yeah, I said 9% in the other one, even if you have a high.
And it all depends on the kind of car as well, because they break it down by like SUVs,
Correct.
sedan, truck, and all that stuff as well.
So there's so many factors that go into it, and as I said, will your local Lexus finance you at 4%, or would your local Subaru finance you at 0%?
Yeah.
Yes, with an amazing credit they will, but it's
these
financing through Subaru, not through the banks.
And
This
these
is
are
talking
the
about
averages.
yes.
These are the averages that
Bank
these
averages.
articles are getting through statistics. So,
Yeah, so that's that, guys. But then besides
just like
that,
I wasn't gonna let it go. They had some
Yeah,
shit
hell
to
no,
say.
bro. Yeah, because
I'm
you
about
know,
to have to disable comments for Jay, so he can't. He's just not stressing about these people.
But then, okay, so here's another thing that I found from Car and Driver, very respectable. In case, because see, this is what we're gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to bring these articles to you so you can see them and not come out and say, "Well, this didn't happen." Well, it did. So these are the cars that are mostly marked up on average across United States, not in your local dealership, across United States, right? So you're gonna get Lexus RX. It's about the 20.3%. You know what car do you think is gonna be next? Let's go that route. What car do you think is gonna be marked up more than it's actually worth? I gave you the first one. It's a Lexus RX 350h, which is the hybrid.
Marked up as a lot more, 20% markup.
Yes, not necessarily 20%. These are the new cars with the biggest markups, right? Like the first one to start with is Lexus RX.
I don't know. If it's starting with Lexus, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna say it on the trend only continues in luxury.
What about you?
So maybe something like a Porsche or some Mercedes or something like that.
I need to fix my camera, so I'm not gonna be able to switch over. But I don't really know too much about cars to really tell you which one.
All right, so let's go quickly through the list. Next one is Cadillac CT5 at 20.3%, just like Eddie said, following the trend of luxury cars. Porsche Macan at 20.6.
I got one.
Well, the Cadillac is still in the luxury, right?
For sure.
Talking about Cadillac, though,
I love that
Berkshire Hathaway owner Warren Buffett dumped 45% of the GM shares.
There we go.
Yeah. So he's mass exodus out of GM, right? So then we have Genesis, which is the luxury version of Hyundai, right?
Yeah, it's like their
at
luxury
21%. Yeah. Back to Cadillac CT4, which is a smaller version of.
You know what I love? I was gonna
CT5.
say those CT class cars, the high up one. They make it stupid fast, and they still come manual to this day, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's what's making that 21% go up. It's probably those high end, souped up versions that are costing more.
Yeah, because they have like the CT5 Blackwing, they have the CT5 something, and then the V version and stuff like that.
And I think those are the ones that are pushing the price limit. Then we have the Jeep, but Jeep has been always, up there with price hikes.
Why are Jeeps so expensive?
The hype. It's the name around it. It's the same. It's the same thing with a lot of cars, man. Like, there's crazy things. Like, for example, like BMW and Mercedes, right? Like two German, what you would look at as luxury and sporty cars, right? Mm-hmm. Mercedes loses its value like shit, and it just always has. For some reason it always has. And then BMW is like the opposite.
Yeah.
Right? Retains its value like crazy. Or then something like, for example, Subaru. Subaru, surprisingly, for some reason, in the sportier versions, they retain their value like crazy. And then you have other cars that just don't. There's something, especially has to do with, it has many factors. One thing can be quality of product, and another thing can be all the way to like fame about behind the car, or it has some kind of history or something.
So
like that.
Jeep Wrangler, right, especially this one, is the traditional Americana car, right? Like take the doors off, take the hood off, do a bunch of modifications, go doing whatever you want. It's that beach car. It's the car that everybody wants. It's the fun car, right? Like, so they've always been popular, and I don't think they've lost the popularity for many, many years, right? And they're sort of known for being super, super durable because there are a car for taking them to the woods and stuff like that. But are they really durable? That's more of a questionable, right?
What's durable? A Tacoma.
Tacoma is durable. Yeah. When them Arab brothers are buying Tacomas and they're riding them for 400,000 or 500,000 miles and putting 50 cal machine guns on them, that's a durable car. You know what I mean?
I mean, Toyota's been known for just being something you can beat on and beat on and beat on. It's never gonna die out. Honda's got that fame pretty well. Not as much as Toyota, I would say.
Any other Japanese cars, I think Nissan had it and then just kind of lost it. Honda has it and doesn't. Acura same way has it and doesn't. Lexus has it, and then Toyota. Toyota's always been known as that. But here's the question about Toyota, right? Like, with the exception of those little old Tacomas and those 4Runners and things like that, do you really think it's the car that's built really well, or it's the people that are buying that car? They're not really beating on a car.
No, I think the cars are built really well. Yeah. Because for them to perform well across the spectrum and everybody to recognize it, it's not just that grandmas are only driving it and so they're not getting beat on.
No, it's not necessarily grandma. It's people that are not really interested in like beating the shit out of the car, like racing the car and doing anything with it.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know. You could be right because of the people they appeal to, right? Aren't necessarily people that are going to beat on their cars. I get what you're saying.
Next
Porsche again.
Next up, we have a Porsche, and Taycan is the direct direct
you seen
competitor to
you seen the guy?
Tesla?
So there's the 1320 channel. Have you ever seen that? The racing channel. It's really famous. Really old. The guy that does it is like one of the OGs for like drag racing and stuff. And one day he's at an event, and this old dude comes in when they had just released the Taycan Turbo S and all that.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I want to race. I think it was like Cletus McFarland and all those guys in Tampa that have like crazy fast cars, Boosted Boys and all those guys I think were there. And like he's like, yeah, I want to race Cletus in the whatever car. And he's like, bro, what do you mean? You just got here. And he's like, yeah, well I got the Porsche, the electric Porsche and that. And sadly, I think that car probably could have, because they didn't put him against him. They put him against another guy to try. And I think the car could have maybe beat him. But it's this dude that's like 80 years old with no reaction time, right? Yeah. And like after the race, he's like, "Oh, I didn't have it in the right mode and all this stuff." And those cars are badass. Cars are badass.
Those are badass, and they're like the direct competition.
I didn't understand the whole turbo branding on it.
The turbo branding is just.
Everyone looked at Porsche and was like, shame on you, bitch.
Yeah, because there's no turbo, right? Like it's just faster engines. Like they're just more spooling engines. That's really no turbo in it. But they did that, and then we got the Mercedes-Benz GLB, which
Mauricio said number 1 Toyota, number 2 Honda, number 3 Subaru.
Nice.
Yeah, because Subaru is known for reliability in their like basic models. Of course, any of their sporty ones that are turbo and stuff like that, no good. No good.
So what do you guys think? Who's topping the list? Who's topping the list?
When it comes to what?
The most markup.
Porsche seems to be on there quite a bit. Twice now, right?
Yeah.
2-3 times.
No, one vehicle. What do you think would be topping the list?
Markup? I don't know, man. I feel like any vehicles that are new and come out, like for example, when we saw like the Corvette come out, right, when it first came out, like it had crazy markup, right? I feel like it just depends on when the vehicle first comes out and it has some crazy hype, it's gonna have some massive markup. Like so I'm assuming probably like the Supras when they first came out, right? Like cars that came back like that, it's gonna have crazy markup. The new Nissan Skyline.
This is the car with the largest.
That's what I mean. It's of course gonna have crazy markup,
This is the car with the largest markup. Genesis GV70 with a 27.5% markup.
I don't understand that, but okay.
Anyway,
look at that. It's a Hyundai.
I actually thought Genesis was a dying brand.
No, the Genesis is the new brand of Hyundai.
I feel like Genesis is probably what's making Hyundai its money.
So what Genesis did, they're like, you know what? We're gonna create a luxury brand of a Hyundai.
It's the same thing with Toyota, Lexus.
Correct.
Nissan, Infiniti, Honda Acura. It's the same thing. And then they have also branded it in a way that it's a little different because they
Chevy
look at
Cadillac. You know what I mean?
Chevy Cadillac. There you go. They've branded it in a little bit of a different way that it's more of like a division. Genesis seems to be like a separate division from Hyundai in a sense, where when you go to buy an Acura, you can buy almost the same thing as a Honda, just costs less, right? But the Genesis isn't like that, right? Their cars are all different. There's not a Hyundai version of their Genesis.
Correct. Yeah, like you don't have like a Integra and a Civic. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't have that.
Or the Altima or in the new Maxima compared to like a Q Series Infinity. So there's not that comparison there. And maybe there isn't one or two models, but it's not as prominent as used with Lexus and Toyota and stuff like that.
No.
Where it's literally verbatim the same. It's just maybe different panels and
Hyundai and Kia have that going on. But not Genesis.
Not Genesis. Right. That's what I'm saying. They've branded it a little bit different where it's like a whole separate division.
And the whole thing with Genesis was when they came out with it, they said, you know what, let's create cars that are going to be up to par with like Mercedes, BMW, Lexus, but they're going to be $10,000 less or $20,000 less.
And
that was their thing.
You know what's funny? When the Genesis first came out, it was a car.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a specific.
Correct.
It wasn't like a branding to their thing. No, you had the Hyundai,
model
Hyundai Genesis, and then you had the 2-door and the 4-door.
Yep.
Right. The 4-door was pretty. I remember a cousin of mine, Sebastian. He actually had one of the 4-doors dropped on really nice big
super comfortable
Volson rims, like really nice luxury rims, and it looked like the Batmobile. That's what they called it.
Yeah, super nice car. I really liked it a lot.
I think.
Yeah, V8 one, the faster one. So I really liked it.
So initially Genesis was just a car, and then they started like
Genesis was a model, kind of like Corolla. Okay. You know what I mean?
And then they basically took it and made their own like division out of that branding of the Genesis.
Okay.
because it was like their first sporty car to come out, right? Because the 2-door, like we talked, like the 4-door, sorry, had like the V8 version, right? And it was like a bigger luxury vehicle in a sense. And then they had the 2-door Genesis, which came in like either the V6 or the 4-cylinder turbo, and so it was like a more sporty car, which is kind of how the Genesis branding has moved a little more towards luxury, but a little bit in the sporting section because they have like the
V6 turbocharged,
twin turbo,
365 horsepower,
So I don't know. I remember when I was first looking at cars, I thought about getting a Genesis Coupe.
Genesis Coupes were like, they produced them for a couple of years, and then they realized that the 2-door car market is kind of dying off because not a lot of people are investing not a lot of people have that kind of money to be in that segment, you know what I mean? And they're more switching towards like family oriented 4-door fast cars.
So would you say that people who are into 2-door cars are looking into like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, that type of cars?
No, because that's a whole different market, right? Like you're jumping up in price so drastically. What it is that, so for example, when you're a guy who likes cars, right? There's a stigma on Hyundai, Kia, and all that stuff. At the end of the day, what is that car guy gonna say? It's still a Hyundai. Mm-hmm. It's still a Kia. It doesn't matter what you put on it and stuff like that.
What I am gonna say, it'll get me from point A to point B.
so here's
you look at it like that, and so someone like you that would buy a Hyundai isn't looking at the Genesis because you're not into sporty cars. That's what I'm saying, right? So like, the most people that were into cars like that, the Genesis was almost frowned upon in a sense because it was a Hyundai. It was still a Hyundai, even though it was a nice little coupe. You remember Jonathan? He went to high school with us, Cuban.
Yes.
He had one. It was nice. The interior was pretty nice. I'm assuming it was one of like the higher versions or something, but like it was a pretty nice car. Like I said, I was interested in one at one point, but at the end of the day, like I said, it's still a Hyundai. And what he's saying is that they tried making that coupe sporty thing, but Hyundai isn't for that.
Well, not only that, I know.
Do those particular ones, the Hyundai 2-doors, do they tend to have a lot of issues?
No, not necessarily.
It's a Hyundai. It's necessarily reliable.
Okay.
So what they did was, so the 2-door car segment kind of disappeared, sort of, right? You don't have that many 2-door cars unless you're in a luxury, right? Like unless you're in a luxury. The reason being is because at that low money price point, even at that low price point, not like a lot of the young people cannot afford those cars, and younger people that like can't afford those cars, they already have families and things like that, so they want a 4-door fast car. So they're thinking more towards the future. Is like, okay, well, I want a car, but I want this car for 10 years. So if I'm gonna have a family in 10 years, I better have a 4-door car. And then younger people that are like in their 18, 20s that are not planning for families or anything like that, they're not thinking about families. They can't afford $30,000 for a 2-door car. You know what I mean? So the market had to shift. So market kind of priced it, like the 2-door cars kind of priced themselves out of the market.
Like for example, you have the car they've been making for a while. They brought back the old 86, the Toyota GT86 from back in the day, right? They came out and they had like the Subaru version, and they had the Scion version when they first came out. That car continues to do very well due to the fact that it has such a low price tag.
That's it.
Low price tag.
And plus, and the other car that is not a Miata, that's a 2-door race car that's not a Miata, is the 86.
And backed by the Toyota branding of being so reliable.
That's it.
But at the same time, you have to look at it that it's backed by your Toyota branding, but it's a Subaru.
It is a Subaru. And what is the percentage of those cars that are being sold? That's another question. Toyota might be keeping it. It might be just barely hanging. You know what I mean? Just barely hanging off a cliff. It's about to be X'd out. And I think that's why Toyota brought in the Corolla GR, because they're trying to push that 86 maybe out of the way. I'm not sure why, because GR is the 4-door still. I don't know.
I think the 86 still has its market in the coupe area.
It does, because a lot of people hook them up, make them nice.
Yeah. Natalie has one. Hers is bright orange.
Yeah, cool. That's, up there,
K. Jerome in the chat says, yo, I'm the heart for cards. Is that somebody?
Oh, that's someone I was talking to today at Omegle.
What did he say?
He has a page where he sells like PSA 10 cards and stuff like that. Like
nice.
For Pokemon and trading cards like that.
Hey Nat.
What's up, man? Welcome.
Thanks for the posts.
I appreciate you guys coming in.
And all right, guys. So the next news, which I'm happy about a lot, is Japan just begins releasing a radioactive wastewater from Fukushima nuclear plant into Pacific Ocean. So basically, they say that they kind of treated this water. It's not necessarily as radioactive, and it's actually less than what the international community allows, like the level of radioactivity. However, some people are saying, well, we don't know what the long-term issues are going to be with this. Japan has already been taking a hit from the meltdown in 2011, I think, that their seafood has been, declining in quality because of the radioactive waste. But they're like saying, well, we have all this radioactive water. We have to put it somewhere because we don't have space anymore. And as you all know, guys, Japan itself is a very small island. It's a group of small islands with population of 40 million, right? So it's like people living on top of each other, right? So there's that going on right now in Japan. They just opened that. It's a 10-year plan to release a lot of this radioactive water from Fukushima plant, which is, I don't know, man. I don't like that. I don't want to see fish with 3 eyes and...
Just about to say that. Next thing
What the fuck is this? The Simpsons?
Next thing you know, you're gonna have
fish
some
with 3 eyes, like because when when I'm going to get my tuna and sushi, I don't,
Look,
I don't want to go with third leg.
I love raw tuna. That's like the best shit right there. And it makes me sad too, right? Because like we know what happens when shit starts getting dumped in the water already, right? So like we're just adding on top of this problem consistently, and it only seems to be getting more like worse. There's been within like, for example, us locally within like the past few years, a thing with the red tide and stuff like that. Like we know why it's caused. We know why it's there. Like it's us. Like
we're fucking shit up.
Yeah, we're continuously to fuck shit up, and it sucks. It really, really, really.
Yeah,
really
and
sucks.
they need to come up with it. Now, if anyone, I do kind of trust the Japanese to do things right, because they're super smart. You know what I mean? They might figure out a way how to clean this water, but it's a radioactive waste, and you don't just like the decay time on this. The half-life on this radioactive waste is such a big half-life that it's like, I don't fucking know, man, if it's gonna really, really work. But yes, Natalie, you're correct. Like, yeah, I seen that the Toyota is trying to jump into the whole rally thing. So we'll see that.
Look, I like the GR Corolla. The only thing that kills it for me is 3-cylinder.
Yeah, I had to go down away from Putin because we don't condone his ass. I didn't see that he was talking out there. Well, this guy actually, this is an interview of him talking about, it's about that plane that got shot down.
Oh shit!
So the plane was going from Moscow to St. Petersburg, and on a plane was the Wagner, the guy, the head of Wagner Group, right? Which a lot of you, if you don't know, Wagner Group is basically the black water for Russia that was created by Russia that supposedly was going to overturn the government. They were doing super well. They got super close to Moscow, and they said, you know what, we're going to go cease and desist. And now the guy gets on a plane. Like, what are you doing going from Moscow to Russia, go to South America, run away, and you get shot down? Like, it was literally shot out of the sky from ground to air missiles.
So did he live?
No, he's dead. He's dead.
Oh, so Prigozhin is done?
Prigozhin is done.
Oh, shit.
Prigozhin is done.
Okay. Oh, I thought you said they just had to shut him down.
No,
he didn't say shut him down. He said shot him down.
Oh,
yeah.
Shot.
Okay.
Big blicky blicky's out of the sky.
He no longer with us.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was only a matter of time before that happened.
Yeah, because you don't, like, no matter how much Putka says that, you good, all this water under the bridge, he fucking you up. Like, there's no in between. He's knocking your ass out the sky. Like, he's getting rid of you. You know what I mean? But the whole thing...
maybe this could be some... I mean, these news just came out. Is it confirmed or...
Yeah, it's confirmed that, it needed to be done. Basically, that's he in this
interview,
he alludes to that. In this interview, he alludes to that.
And maybe they're saying, like, hey, he's dead, but he's really not.
No, because even if he's not dead, what is going to happen? He's going to go live in Israel? Because the majority of people that run away from Russia go to Israel. Like, what is he going to do? Then we're going to know about him anyway, and then he's going to get poisoned by some radioactive pill over there. Either way, he's going to die. Like, there was a cross mark on his head already and whether it was engineered by Putin himself or not, I don't know. Because this whole thing sounds very weak, right? Like, because these guys were, like, as I said, Blackwater, the security group that would go in and do shit in behalf of Russia in different countries and You know what I mean? It's when Russia couldn't physically go in and do stuff because it would be act of war. They would send them.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened all over Africa, and it's still going on with the coup that just happened.
From Nigeria, when they're like F France, we love Russia, and things like that. There's that whole coup happening there. I wonder what they're looking for. What's beneficial in Nigeria that they're going after.
What's up, Mauricio? What's up, Bianca? How you doing, Rodolfo? Natalie, Jerome, thank you guys for joining us. Shout them out real quick.
Yeah.
So I ran into this thing, right? Because I spent like maybe a little bit over an hour today.
Yeah.
Out, when after I was doing shit on the computer, talking on Omegle.
Yeah.
Right? Random people, like I've talked about before. Bro, why do people have such a big like stigma of hate against Americans? Like, you dumb Americans, you stupid Americans.
Why? Because in reality, our schooling system is not necessarily the best. It is good. It is really, really good if you actually study.
So do you think that this is actually because we are not as smart as the world, or do you think that this is because of the stigma that is put around Americans' egos as we're the best, and that's what people dislike?
I think overall we don't have the culture of like schooling is important in the United States. So because schooling system is there, it can be good. Like, it can teach you exactly what you want it to be. Like, it can teach you to be super, super smart. But there's none of that. Hey, you need to go to school. You need to do your homework. There's not such a big emphasis on it. So when it does come around, what happens, and a lot of times, Americans are not very worldly. They don't know about topics such as, like, for example, where could be the capital of Georgia, for example. You know what I mean? Or capital of Armenia, capital of Lithuania. They might not know, but in the other countries, they might know this, right? Like, so there's that general education part, right? Like, we're not very worldly. But one thing they forget about Americans is when American is like, so let's say an American plumber really knows his shit really, really well. An American electrician knows his shit really, really well. They don't know shit about plumbing, but they know about electricity. Plumber doesn't know shit about electricity, but he knows about plumbing, right? Where in other countries, a person knows a little bit of plumbing, a little bit of electricity. So they consider themselves a little more intelligent, maybe. But in reality, it's a total different type of society. And
I think partially is, I caught what you were saying there, like, people are a little more worldly.
Yeah.
And I feel like, for example, Europe is very intertwined with each other in the sense of, like, their neighboring countries and stuff like that. And we're a little more closed off from everyone else in that sensation of, like, keeping up with what's going on with them, right? Like, we're very just focused on what's going on here. And people don't really pay much mind to anything else. And so like, I feel like that also puts a stigma on our egos, right? Because, like, we're, like, almost like we don't care. And then, like, we're better. Like I said, because you know how that stigma is put on the Americans of, like, we're the best and we're so cocky and this and that.
So Europe has been, like, the entire Europe, if you want to look at it, it's all kissing cousins, right? And the reason I say this, the reason this comes out really rude as kissing cousins, the reason I say this is because Europe, since dawn of time, first it was Greece, then it was Rome. They've been warring back and forth. So there's Greek blood there throughout the entire Europe. There's Roman blood there throughout the entire Europe. Then there's Lithuanian blood there through entire Europe. Then there's German blood there because these nations been conquering each other back and forth. So they're all kissing cousins. You know what I mean? So at some point they had to have had connection with each other and learn about each other's lives because they're all completely different people. Like, when I go from Florida to Georgia, it's still the same American people. They might have a different accent, but they're still the same American people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't make a distinction between, I'm from Georgia, I'm better than you from Florida, purely because of the state, maybe. But as people, we don't make distinction between them. But when you go to Europe, they're like, well, I'm French, I'm better than the English. Or I'm Portuguese, I'm better than the Spain. Spain is better than the French. You know what I mean? So there's that I am better than you thing going on in Europe. So they had to constantly be in this competition, but then they also had to learn how to live together. And they have a lot larger history than United States. United States is a fairly young country. We're only, 400 years old?
Right.
I mean, there are a bunch of countries, like Latvia is, just celebrated, I think, 400 years. Lithuania just celebrated 700 years for one of their cities being established.
Yeah, we're like 350.
Yeah, like the entire country, right? So we're pretty young. Our language, if you take our language compared to Spanish language has like 350,000 words or something crazy like that. We're at around 50,000 or something like that. We're still a developing country.
250, sorry.
Whatever. I'm saying like the difference between the numbers is huge. You know what I mean? So it's not that Americans necessarily are stupid. I mean, we just don't concentrate on shit that we don't find important. Like if a person living in rural Virginia doesn't know what the capital of Lithuania is, guess what? He's still gonna be okay. He's still gonna be okay. He doesn't need to know what the capital of Lithuania is. In a whole grand scheme of things.
Okay.
It's good to know how, it's good to be intelligent, but do you really, like, how is this information helping you in your day-to-day life?
But then, like, so how does this directly impact the way that they view Americans? So, like, that's what I'm saying. They have this stigma on Americans as being more stupid, so...
Because you don't know what their capital of they'll be like, well, I'm from Denmark. And they're like, oh, yeah, I know what that is. That's right next to Italy, right? They're like, oh, no. You know? It's because you don't know where Denmark is. But in reality... Like, hey, bro, do you know what Mississippi is?
You know what's a great thing to do when
do you know what Kansas is or Arkansas?
Someone like that, because I was talking to people.
What's the capital of Arkansas? At that point, you turn around and say, "What's the capital of Arkansas?"
Yeah.
What's the capital of Florida?
Right. And you fucked me, Jay.
Sorry. At that point, you're turn around and look at them.
You fucked me, Jay.
Oh, sorry.
What can I say?
Sorry.
It wasn't. I guess it wasn't that important.
You were talking to some people. You said.
I know it was something to do with the Omegle, but I don't remember exactly.
Hey, people, hold your pants. Year 2024 is gonna be big for those that are getting Social Security. Y'all, Social Security gonna go up by a whopping $50 every month. So yes, yeah.
Let's go.
My people's.
Baby.
I can
buy 2 dozen eggs now.
Yeah, inflation's been fucking 30%, but your Social Security is going up by a whopping $50, which accounts for 3% total increase. So yes, people will be able to fucking survive off of that. Why not? You know what I mean? So that's a big fail. If I see one, it's a big fail. If I seen one, but. I don't know what they're fucking thinking to themselves by doing that.
Let me know when
it's
you guys
almost
want
like
me
a
to
slap
have
in
that
the face.
on the stream.
It's almost like a slap on the face. You know what I mean? 3% increase, $58 a paycheck.
That's a month, right?
That's a month, yeah. All right, so this one,
I mean, $50 is $50. You start adding them up. That's savings right there, man.
Shit, you probably skipped that video, huh?
Oh, you had a YouTube video
up
on purpose?
Video.
Oh shit, my bad. Here,
we
can
go back, right?
Yeah, you can do that.
All right, cool. So guys, I want you to watch this video real quick and tell me what you think about that, right? Watch it. We don't have to listen to it. Watch it. That's it.
Okay.
That's the video. So this was national team of Spain. They were playing with England and they won against England, and that was the president of Spain's Football Association kissed this girl on the lips by congratulating her. What do you think about that?
Whom resigned today.
Yeah, shit.
Bro could not handle the backlash. He's like, I'm out.
I mean,
yeah. So this hit big news. Bunch of people took up to the streets.
Time he was just like, it's now or never. Mwah.
Spain's Jenny Hermoso addresses unacceptable World Cup kiss with statement and tattoos. The tattoos were like one-time tattoos that said, like, in the way I love this picture, the way they're putting it, like he's all up in there.
Yeah,
but
like
it was
grabbed her.
It was, you could see it was definitely like you would kiss somebody like a little kid on their forehead, But to me, that's what it looked like.
No, to me it looked like he grabbed her and
she did say
that
she was uncomfortable about it.
Yeah, she did. She did say that to her friends, and then they had these tattoos where said, "No hay verano sin beso, no summer without a kiss." So, and then the guy came out and apologized, but a bunch of people took up to the streets.
Again? Look at that man's tongue. That man's tongue is gnarly. Is that his real tongue?
I don't think so.
I think that's something hanging out of his mouth. No.
I don't think so. Yeah, probably. So, and then a bunch of people took up to the streets and like, just apology is not enough, blah, blah, blah.
Well, what's enough?
What is he supposed to do?
They
lick her clit
want
or something?
Either somebody resign or like get some sort of action towards it. Now, with all that being said, I watched the interview of that guy. That guy deserves to be fucking fired. Because when you see him, the way he's talking, like his mannerisms, his thing, bro.
I mean, when you're at that level,
like you thought you're gonna get away with that shit. You know what I mean? You did this shit for a purpose, with an idea that you like. He oozes. Now, it could be 100% wrong, right? This is being biased. He oozes that, like, I can do whatever the fuck I want and get away with it type of attitude.
Yeah.
During his interview.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So he deserves to be fired. That's the dude right there. That's the dude. The way. That's the dude right here in the corner.
Yeah. I see. So this is my thing. Whatever the public says is all bullshit.
Correct, 100%.
I think whatever she believes is what we should be paying attention. Now, if she says, I'm uncomfortable with this, I would like to take action, all right, let's fucking do that.
Yeah.
Now, if she says, I'm uncomfortable with it, he apologized, I accept his apology, I don't think he should have to be taken down, or like whatever. I feel like it's like, it's up to her kind of at this point, because she's the one who went through this. I feel like it's kind of, in a sense, out of pocket for people to start coming out here and saying, oh, well, he should do this, he should do that. You're not the one who got kissed, bitch.
So, I agree with you. And I also agree. I think if his attitude as a person was different, if he wasn't all like this, and he did that, she would not have been as tight and pressed against it. She wouldn't felt as weirded out by him.
And so you said this was like the president of the association, right?
For
of like
the
club?
soccer association.
So, man.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fucked.
I think it's
that
him.
Dude's so crazy, man.
The way he is, I think that's the way he is probably made her feel very uncomfortable to begin with, and that kiss kind of solidified that. It was a reason to say, "Yo, I feel very fucking uncomfortable with you." And
she hasn't said anything about it.
Apparently, she came out and said that, "Hey, this was within a moment of like the win. Like this was the." Sign of like affection for the win and things like that, but then she came back and said, "Nah, a bunch of her teammates heard that she felt uncomfortable about this, blah blah blah." Now she said that maybe with an idea that she was afraid that she's gonna get canned from the team, things like that. Like this bunch of things could be involved, right. But I think it's because the way he is that she was all fucking weirded out.
I mean, I don't know. I think even if someone is a normal dude, just to do that could be out of pocket enough to where she could be weirded out. But I do think that.
Remember this. This is Spain, right? People kiss each other on the cheek.
I do understand that it's a little more open to the idea, but like for you to grab someone and kiss them on the lips, that's different. And the way he did it, it wasn't just like we're hugging and I try to kiss you. Like, no, he like grabbed her head and forced her to basically do this thing, right?
Yeah, but that force is like how you kiss a kid, like grab him, like and then give him a kiss on the forehead.
I get that, but like you have to understand that how can that be interpreted? You have to, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying to her, and I think him, the way he is, made her feel very uncomfortable. Even worse, yeah.
This attitude towards the situation and how he is.
So I don't know what this is gonna happen. I thought that's pretty good controversy out there. Like to talk about and see what.
No, I think we all agree that he shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, no.
And she has every right to go after him in any way.
He shouldn't have done that in that way anyway. So he shouldn't have been less dick about it. So
yeah, like what's so hard about just expressing it through the hug? You know what I mean? Like why? Like he's being a creep. He's being a creep. Yeah. He's being a creep
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, big
the hug was enough.
Look at his face, bro. He looks like
I didn't want to say anything. That's what
I'm saying. Like,
but I saw his face and I was like, oh,
yeah,
he's a little...
You see what I'm talking about now? You see what I'm talking about? Like, he's got that creepiness about him, All right, guys. So the next one we have is Vivek Ramaswamy. He's been making waves. He's the GOP candidate, basically one of the Republican candidates out there. And GOP debate just went on live yesterday night, and it was a fucking shit show. It was terrible. And Vivek was one of the guys that felt probably, I would want to say, most comfortable during that, like he's meant to be there. And I don't know shit about Vivek until I started reading about Vivek. So Vivek used to be he created a company and then he's a CEO of a biotech company, blah, blah, blah. He's a millionaire. He had $500 million. But apparently, this guy secured it is a biotech company, secured a bunch of high-end contracts for Alzheimer's medication, like bunch of high net worth individuals like invested into it. and he knew that this Alzheimer's medication is not going to do super well. That's what they're saying. And he sold a bunch of his options, and he became really, really rich by doing that.
Okay.
Because, the money would come in, and he would sell his stock options, because company buys the stock options, right? And a bunch of people were investing into options. So a bunch of people lost billions of dollars.
Nice.
In the meantime, he became super rich.
He became a millionaire.
Yeah, super rich. Although he does have one thing that I like. He said that every single person of voting age should pass the test, just like an immigrant would pass a test to get citizenship to be able to vote. Like, you have to do a history test to be able to vote. Although I agree with that, media has caught him and fucking up, basically talking about like how Constitution is the reason United States won this, when they're separating from England back in the day. The Constitution was the reason, but Constitution was created 4 years after they won.
That hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, media had been bashing him a little bit about that, but this guy's, I don't like him. He looks too comfortable. He's too croaky. He seemed like it could be it, and then DeSantis.
You got snake vibes.
Yeah, DeSantis is the other one. He didn't smile the entire time. He maybe looked a little mad.
We haven't.
But he was very articulated.
We haven't said anything on the pod, and we don't have to. But I was looking a little bit into our boy Sartain, and he said that if he were to vote, if he were to vote for anyone, I saw in the podcast I was watching, that he would vote for DeSantis.
Yeah.
I'm gonna want to ask him about that and see what he thinks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because DeSantis, he's pretty smart. He might be. See, here's what happens. There's only so much money that you can have on your own. And if you're a candidate and you need money for your campaign, normal people only will give you so much. It's the donation money that has to come in. And the donation money that's coming in is going to be from people that have money. And people that have money are going to have agenda when they're going to donate to you. See, this is where the problem happens. So if DeSantis takes money from someone that will be associated with something else down the line, they find out, they're going to say, oh, he's associated with them because he took money from them. But DeSantis might not even know what's going on. And so, But they're going to blame it as like, well, you should know who you're taking money from. You should be better, DeSantis. Because everybody is a fucking warrior now, right? Like, everybody is a Captain Save-A-Ho now. You know what I mean? So the problem here is, a lot of people don't understand how the politics game works. Neither do I. I don't want to say that I do somehow. But what I understand is that you need money to be in a politics. And for you to get money, unless you have money, is to get donate.
What you're basically saying is that, sadly, lobbying is a thing, and it is what it is.
It is what it is, and it's going to continue to happen whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Now, you can say, I'm not taking your money because you're associated with XYZ, but in those circles, everyone is associated with each other. There's no such thing, this is associated with this is associated with... But they're all making money together.
Let me ask you this. You have to also understand when people are going to go, hey, man, like, don't keep doing this because you're taking money from organizations to pass laws or things that are not necessarily helpful. Yeah. Like, we all agree here that the concealed carry, permitless concealed carry was something that's not helpful, right?
Yeah.
So, and that was all backed by your boy DeSantis. And why do you think it was backed by DeSantis? Because they're giving him money for it, right?
Well, no, that's obvious. They're giving him money for it, but like at the end of the day, is like.
So you have to. What I'm trying to say is you have to understand when people are gonna go, what the fuck.
Well, no, people are going to go, what the fuck, is because people don't understand the politics game. When they understood, there's a reason why these people don't understand the politics game. And there's a reason why DeSantis is a politician and you work in McDonald's. Or you work in a factory. Because you're not a politician. It takes a certain breed to be a politician. You would never be able to be a politician. So how can you take what you have and understand what a politician does? Like, I don't understand shit about the politician, but I understand how money works. And bottom line is, you need to have money to become a politician and to get somewhere. But you taking this money, you're going to have to owe favors to people. People don't just give you the money out of goodness of their heart. Yeah. They don't. Like, you know who gives you money out of goodness of their heart? Me and Eddie, when they donate $1. If we do. That's out of goodness of our heart and we don't say shit. When somebody comes in and drops $10,000 in an envelope for you, they want something from you. You know? That's the whole thing. Even a simple idea, when people donate to a museum, they put their name on a museum. They donated to have their name on a fucking museum, to solidify their name somewhere. There's always a reciprocal of donating money. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say. Anyway, the sound, I don't know, man. It's a fucking shit show. I don't like any one of them. The guy that's been talking a lot of shit about Trump, what's his name? Anyway,
so I know we talked about
everybody?
this. I know we talked to everybody, right? No, I know we talked about this a little bit last pod, but I watched the podcast between Dylan Dennis and
Yes.
the Nelk Boys,
Mhm.
Full Send Pod, and I wanted to revisit that topic a little bit. Do you guys think he crossed the line posting all the things he posted?
hell no.
Given-
the Dylan Dennis,
Yeah.
I haven't watched that.
You want to see the stuff he's posted? I'll show you real quick.
What do
It's
you
just on
post?
Twitter. So he's been posting. I'll give you some backstory. He's been posting.
He got a cease and
pictures.
desist letter.
Yeah, but he's still been doing it. Because apparently they told him like the fight might be off if you keep doing this kind of thing, right? Like, let me find this for you, Miggy. Anyways, this guy's been posting a bunch of shit of Logan Paul's current fiance, and he's been posting a bunch of pictures of her that are already on the internet, right? But he's just been reposting them of like pictures of her with other guys or like basically nude photo shoots and stuff like this, right? Like pictures with her and LeBron, pictures
All the guys
of
she
her
smashed before.
and
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio, pictures of her and like a bunch of other famous guys and dudes she smashed and stuff like this. Damn, why every time I do this?
She was a Dutch model, and there was this whole thing where he came out on online and said, I was so happy that you didn't let me smash with you right away. That was one of the things that attracted me to you. Blah,
So
blah,
it's
blah.
not every post, but it just scroll. You know, do like quick scrolls down, and every like 4 or 5 posts, you're gonna see pictures. You're gonna see a picture of her and someone, or a troll picture of her. There's like he's been posting pictures of like the outside frame of a turkey and like Logan looking inside.
Yeah,
you know what I
they'll
mean?
do it. I mean, yes.
So this is the question, right? Do you think he went too far?
No, he didn't.
Did he go? No, I mean, it's
Because
out there. It's fair game.
this is what happens when a guy.
He said the Sandman with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this
Yeah,
is
that
what
is a
happens.
lot of people.
Bro, and it just keeps going. That's the beginning.
That's what happens when
That's
a guy.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That's what happens when a guy takes the town bicycle for a wife. I hate to say it. Life ain't fair. Life is not fair to no one. Life is the way life is.
But this is gonna be again like we're gonna talk about this for 2 days, and that's it.
Well, no, I think
agree.
if he does marry this girl, because he did propose to her, what his lawyers should suggest to him is like you should keep it quiet. This should go all like die down.
You know, this is
Maybe you
all.
should just break up with her
He's
and
already
Listen,
keep it at
created
that.
this
enough
is all-
controversy. He knows that it's just gonna die down.
This is all promotion for their fight, right? Like these guys are about to fight, so
It
this
is.
this is all promotion.
But you don't fuck
like-
with man's wife, bro. You don't fuck with your
in
girl
the
like
entertainment
that.
business, I think it's game.
Nah,
In
bro.
the fight business, I think it's
Biggest
game.
troll, Conor McGregor. Biggest troll of all of them, Conor McGregor. Didn't never let that somebody mess with his wife. Biggest troll.
Yeah,
Mayweather.
but he talks shit about other people's wives.
He did.
Leg broken in the arena.
Yeah, your wife in me DMs.
Your wife sent me DMs. Hey baby, hey
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, he did, but nobody ever messed with his wife. Even you think if it's a promotion and they have fucking talked about it, oh yeah, talk shit
You
about
know-
my wife, really?
Look, I think he is just being the ultimate troll. I think that by putting this much energy into going after his girl has been maybe a little too much, right?
I think it's spot on.
I do think it's fair game.
Yeah.
I think it's fair game, especially in the fight business, right? Because like you said, sadly, this girl has apparently been with a lot of guys,
She
and
has.
it's been public, and so that's something that people are gonna bash you about. Now, you know, a lot of people say like the guy we had on our thing, like, why does it matter about her past? You're right. For Logan, clearly it doesn't, and that's
Who
good for
said
him.
that? Who said
Oh,
that?
one of the comments on the thing, and it's like, oh,
Why is it mad about her past?
yeah,
It
well, you have
absolutely
to
matters.
understand. To
It
him, it might
absolutely
not,
matters.
but to the public, It always does.
No, to him it does too. That's why it makes him so fucking mad. Because he probably knew something about her past, but he didn't know the extent of her past.
Honestly,
I guarantee you.
I think
I don't think it's
the
that
girl,
he didn't know the extent. I definitely think he knew the extent.
The girl, I think, is more mad than Logan Paul.
Bro,
And
the girl
that
has
also is what's putting gas on Logan, right?
Bro,
Yes.
the girl's
Right.
been a social climber. She's
right
been
back.
climbing
Gotta
the
pee.
social ladder of dudes since day one. She's been with Eddie Murphy. Not Eddie Murphy,
You
what's
know
his
what,
name?
You know what that reminds me of? The Will Smith situation.
Yes, what about it? Oh, you're talking about... No, I think...
Yeah, I feel like Logan was forced into telling, or obviously they're fighting again. This is all for promotion, but if it were a serious thing, I think it would be because of that.
What do you
like-
mean, like Will Smith
like
situation?
Like his girl is telling Logan, "Hey, you know, we have to get this down. I don't want this up. I don't want him putting pictures of me. You got to do something about it."
Yeah, because it's airing her... Like, it's airing her dirty laundry. And if Logan Paul dumps her, no one else is gonna wipe her up. She'll literally, her future...
So you think she has an issue with this because she's with Logan Paul and she doesn't want to get divorced from him because she knows she has, you know, big opportunities there.
Correct. She literally has the most influential person right now, arguably one of the most influential persons as her fiance.
Okay.
And she knows after this, because they're already engaged, and if they don't get married after all this, she has no future. No one is gonna look at her. Like, guys are not like that, man. We don't like this. Majority of guys don't like that, especially guys with A-type personalities.
We thought when I saw the picture. I mean, it's like, holy crap, there's a lot of guys. And
Exactly. And you can't take this away. This is something primal in our heads. You can sit there and you can try to justify it. You try to say this. You try to say that. But it's there. It's actually a pretty good segue into our next article, which we'll talk about.
And it's not like all of these guys were like super handsome or whatever. It's just guys that had money and yeah.
Yeah, it's super, and that's what she is. She's just a man eater. Like, that's what she's done all her life. She's climbed that social ladder of people, and she's reached the top right now.
Do you blame her for that though?
No, I don't blame her right now for that. I don't blame her. What I do blame her for is being a little more discreet about it when your shit is not getting aired, and right now you're not getting embarrassed online in front of everyone. But other than that, you know, it is what it is, right? Like, I don't blame her.
I feel like if I were a girl and
I blame
like
Logan. If anything, I
I'd
blame
probably be
Logan.
doing the same thing, honestly.
You know,
I mean,
Yeah, of course. I blame Logan.
My thing is you either have to have there's like two ways of path of thinking here. Ask yourself, okay, do I care about the person's past? Like when you're getting with someone.
Yes, 100%. Majority of men do.
Okay, and then you have the question of like, what do you prefer? A woman with no past or a woman with a bunch of guys with no past, right? That's so that if you even go into that route of like, do you care about a past or not? Then that's more likely gonna be your answer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's this like that really small percentage of people that talk about, yeah, well, I think it's good that someone has experience and this and that, right? Like, whatever. But there's not a lot of people that say that.
Correct. And that small percentage is insignificant.
Now, and if you're someone that says, okay, I don't even care about a past at all, whether it's with some or without, you have to then say, okay, anything that's happened with this person, I can't let affect my mental at all because I don't care.
Correct.
And so the fact that he got with the girl and then now is letting the stuff that's coming out there get to him is where I'm like, okay, bro, you did that to yourself.
The boss move here is him stepping into that ring.
I heard this.
Winning against Dylan Dennis.
I heard this.
And then they're saying, fuck you, we're done to the girl.
what do
That
you guys
would be
think
the
about
boss
that fight?
move.
Are you guys
That shit
excited?
I think it was Zerko, right?
Are you guys
Zerko
excited
is
about
like,
Probably.
that fight?
fuck that whore. he's like,
Probably.
he said, I think it was him. He was like, the most boss thing he can do is, when he gets in that ring to knock Dylan Dennis out for what he said and grab that mic and go, I'm done with that whore.
I don't think she's gonna be easily able to find someone because her past has been tarnished on the internet.
I definitely think it's so easy for her to find someone. I don't think.
But it's not gonna be nowhere near Logan Paul's level or
no,
Leonardo
I don't
DiCaprio's
think
level
that's
or
true.
anyone's
I don't
level.
think that's true because I think that this girl, even just because we're hearing about her a lot now because of Dennis talking a lot of shit and their fight going on, so the promotion is even more blown up. People are still knowing about this girl being around all these dudes.
Oh, well,
It
yeah,
wasn't as
yeah.
blown
They all
up.
used her as
It just wasn't as blown out of proportion as it is right now.
Well, no,
so
because,
I think that after it dies back down, like Mickey was saying, like no one's gonna talk about this in a week, right? Like the fight promotion's gonna even move on to something else to talk about probably.
no, because these models
and if she
change
ever
hands, right?
and if she ever breaks up with this man when she's still in her youth and is still nice and pretty, it's gonna be just as easy.
She's
for her.
31 now. He's 28. She's 31. I'm telling you, this was her last bastion.
You think she's pretty?
I mean, she's cute. She's pretty. She's a model, bro. Like she's pretty. She's a model. She's at the very least an 8.
Dennis was talking shit, bro. He's like, she looks like a man. This and that.
No, man, she doesn't look like a man. She's pretty. She's a model. Like you can't take that shit away from her. She's at the very least an 8.
You do have ugly models though.
No, you don't.
Yes,
I mean, yes, you do, but she's an 8.
I don't find every
she's
single model out there attractive.
So that's what I was gonna say. You don't have ugly models on the mostly on the what you would say supermodels and these girls like that, right? Because you have the whole new models of big girls, whatever. Not talking about that, right?
The plus
classic.
size?
We're talking about classic models, right?
She's a model for sure.
They're all pretty on the broad spectrum. Now, like you're saying, you don't find every model attractive. Same thing here. I don't find every model attractive.
Don't get me wrong.
But on the broad
like
spectrum,
some models. I like some supersized models, bro. Like some of them got.
No,
curves.
I know what you're saying.
Mickey, I'm with you. All big girls need love.
Overall, she's a model. You cannot take that shit away from her. She's been on magazines. She's been on like covers. She's been on a runway. She
I
is
think
a
the real
supermodel.
question here is she your type, Jay?
Is she my type? No.
Okay.
What kind of question is that, Mickey?
But will I smash her? Yes. With
So
all the
she
past,
is
I
your
would
type.
still smash her.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Exactly what I meant.
Wait, smashing and
I
being
said,
my type is not the same.
Is she your type? Yes, you would.
To
smash.
wife, no. To smash, yes.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean now.
So.
I have a
Okay,
question.
so
I have.
go ahead.
You sure? My shit's stupid. You have if yours is snooze, go ahead. You have a question.
yeah, yes. Dennis did hit that, but a bunch of other people did too. So I don't know what.
Anyways, why do people always? I question myself when I see this shit right with online. Why do people fuck with wild animals?
Why they fuck with wild animals? People are fucking retarded. Well, did I say the R word out loud?
I have to bleep that in the clip.
Yeah. People are not like they're not very intelligent. Like, how are you gonna go out there with a lion and like mess with a lion? Like, what's wrong with you?
No, my worst one is the guys that do it with the alligators.
Mm.
That's the worst one for me. You're not in your element. You're in their element. And, like, if they fuck you up, they have so many ways of just killing you. And, like, they're so strong that it's, like, almost basically impossible, unless someone shoots the thing in the forehead, for them to get it off of you, right? Like, if it really wants to just, you know?
And they look so friendly, too.
What? Yeah, right. That's a fucking dinosaur. That thing looks evil.
You know, the thing for me is when you see those reels, like when the shark is approaching, you just put one of your hands underneath it, and then the little kid comes out, bullshit.
Well, I mean, that is your best way of like defending yourself on the shark is by confronting it and guiding it away from you.
But there's
right?
a bunch of guys out there that say, "Oh, punch a shark in the face," and now they don't have fucking arms because shark that ate them all.
Bro, I saw this bad one the other day. This guy. He was there was a mako shark swimming, and he was a pretty good distance away from him, and he swoops up and he's swimming like this from the guy. Out of nowhere, beeline straight for his head and engulfs the guy's head and is like whipping around and shit. And the dude ended up like because the guy I guess had some kind of protection on with the snorkel mask and all that shit. And so I don't think it really fucked him up, and so but it did like rip his goggles off, and the guy's like 60 meters underwater and
Jesus
no goggles
Christ.
now. And then the guy, he has someone that's, you know, the recording or whatever, and they're like freaking out underwater, not knowing what to do, and then like having to worry about the shark coming back again, right? And like, fuck.
That shark probably felt threatened, like, and he just kind of went out there to, like, I don't know, man.
I was, you know, I realized,
shit,
you know, I've grown to be less and less fearless with nature as I've gotten older.
Yeah, well,
You start to respect it. You start to
that
respect
happens when
it
you
more
start
and more.
getting older and older because you start thinking, you know.
You know, I remember I went free diving a couple times with Randy and Juan said, and I don't think I do that anymore. in here in St. Petersburg, like we were, bro, like you can't see anything further from me to the camera. And so I remember one time I go down this column and I'm swimming down, and undercurrent was so bad, right? It ripped me from the point I got from the top to the bottom. It ripped me from one column to the other. And so when I went and look around me, the column's no longer on my left, it's on my right. And I'm like, okay, so that means I moved over. And I'm sitting down there, and I didn't have a spear gun or anything. I was just going down to take a look and see. And bro, I remember just sitting down there and thinking about, like, I looked to my left and I was like, what if a shark just like
Beeline?
It came, not even just beeline at me, just like passed by. I think I'd have a heart attack right at that moment under the water, shit my pants and all. I would never come back up right then and there. Shark food. Like, and that was the time and I always have that vivid memory of like that moment. And that's like the moment I was like, never going diving again here in like this area because you can't see shit. Like, I would still like to get my scuba license and then be able to, like, when we go to the Bahamas or like if I want to go to some spring somewhere.
Well, it's pretty and clear and you can see everything.
Or freshwater, and I don't have to worry about fucking alligators or like not freshwater here in Florida. If you're in freshwater in Florida, you gotta worry about alligators. But like if you go up north to somewhere and you don't have to worry about that shit.
I mean, they still got them.
I'm game.
Still got them.
I'm game.
No, you can go to like Devil's Den and do diving over there.
Yeah.
You can do
there
Three
you don't have to worry
Sisters.
about
There you don't have to worry about it. And it's
Ginny
clear.
Springs.
Ginny
You
Springs.
don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the gators though.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I feel like it is a very populated area though, so they
dude,
probably
I'd get
don't.
scared, dude. I remember going to Ginny Springs, and I remember the seaweed area, and I could just think in my mind, there's gonna be some type of alligator just sitting on top of that grass, just waiting to pounce.
You know, I thought about too. Like, I try not to walk like right next to
the side areas of the river.
Yeah, right next to the bank because like
the
especially if it's like
the
really
grassy.
murky, if it's really murky water, bro. Because like there's so many videos out there that you've seen, and like the guy's just like showing this like riverbed, right, and like it looks like normal, and he like throw a rock or something, and the fucking gator just comes out, and it's like, yeah, that could be your foot.
yeah.
Fuck that.
With it. Fuck that.
Fuck that. That's why I had that question. Like, why do people continue to fuck with wild animals?
I think that's a good segue into our topic, and I think the answer
monkey,
lies
I like
within
it.
our topic.
There you go.
So apparently, in 2005, the scientists did an experiment with these monkeys.
Nah.
right?
Am I seeing this title
Yes, you are.
correctly? Mickey, put this up on the stream, bro. Make that big. I want everybody to be able to.
Yeah, everybody needs to see this.
Everyone needs to see this.
They need to see this.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. She said, "I need that bank."
Yeah.
She said, "I need that money."
In 2005, the monkeys that they used, they're like the the name of the monkeys.
Monkeys, bro. Monitos.
They're
that
little
monkey
ones.
said,
Like, these monkeys.
Chap-
These monkeys.
Oh, I saw.
These
I said
monkeys.
chap chin monkeys or some shit like that
No,
right
no.
here. 7 capuchin monkeys.
Capuchin monkeys. These are the capuchin monkeys.
Capuchin
right here.
monkeys.
So apparently, capuchin monkeys have two things on their mind: food and sex. You can feed them basically marshmallows. They'll eat and then they'll throw up and then they'll come back for more marshmallows. Basically, that's how they operate. So these scientists taught them that if they gave them basically money, and the way they did it, they gave them these silver things, right? That have like a little hole in them, they kind of like considered money, right? And they gave them 12 of them daily, right? And they taught them if they hand this money, they get fruit such as grape, jello, or like whatever fruit, right? So the monkeys would give the money, get their fruit, eat it. Give the money, get their fruit, and eat it, right? So they'll learn how to use it. And then what they realized, they said, well, what about the gambling? And monkeys started gambling with this money, right? Just like humans do. And it was 1-to-1. And then what happened when they increased the price of the banana, which they liked the most? They stopped buying bananas, started buying the other ones. Economics, right? Decreased price of the jello, kept the banana and grapes the same price. These motherfuckers started buying the jello because it was cheaper and they could get more of it. So they started acting like humans. Like it's something primal in them without understanding economics, without understanding money, without understanding shit.
Are you telling me prostitution is built in our genes?
So they also observed.
Wait. Is one of them pimping?
So these monkeys went to the female monkeys. The male monkeys went to the female monkeys, gave them the money, had sex with them, and right after they were done, the female monkeys went and gave that money and got some food and ate it. So the prostitution bro. Prostitution. And this has been observed within those monkeys, the same capuchin monkeys and the other ones. But this was observed in grooming. Like the monkeys that had, I went on a rabbit hole in this one too to see like how does this all relate. The actual grooming, if a male monkey groomed a female, they had a lot larger chance of having sex, which is 1.5 per hour to 3.5 per hour.
Okay.
Times, right? So grooming actually is like a payment for something, right? So like that has existed. So they associated the money to grooming type of deal, right?
So what are you say? Are you saying that simping over long periods of time can actually equal into pussy?
No, I'm not saying that.
No.
From what it sounds like to me, though, that these monkeys are just recognizing their assets.
That's it. And they also said when the amount of female monkeys increased, the amount of money decreased because now they had more chance of getting laid. So they didn't give a shit which one of them is it. So they gave less money, and these monkeys accepted less money for sex than before.
Because because the market is opened up, everybody has to drop prices.
That's it. That's it, bro. That's it, bro.
Oh shit!
That's it, bro.
It's not just like chocolate and vanilla. It's like now they got caramel and all these things, so
Yes.
everything has to drop in price.
Yes, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's all this thing.
That's
is
fucking
primal.
hilarious,
And
bro.
if you take the idea that we evolved from a common ancestor, it leads you to believe that we would have these traits as well. Yes, we think a little more. Like, obviously, we're not as primal as these guys are or these monkeys are. But
and the situation is
us.
very right. Like
That's in us. I'm not saying that you should be prostituting, right? But at the end of the day, there's this guy who
you
goes
should
up.
recognize your assets.
Yeah, he goes up to the girls and he goes, all the girls are hoes, and the girls like, what do you mean they're all hoes? All the girls are prostitutes. What do you mean they're prostitutes? He goes, okay, let's think about this. You take a girl out, right? Yes. You pay for her, right? Yes. And then if everything goes well, we go to my crib, we do the thing, right? Doesn't that make you a prostitute because you did all that because I ended up paying money? Like, it's a stretch. I get it. It's a stretch.
I think that's too far of a stretch.
No, it's a stretch, but the bottom line is a guy always has to do something, provide something for a girl to then come back, whether it's a care, whether it's a monetary value, whatever it is. It doesn't just happen. Boy meets girl. They lock eye contact. I like you.
But
you like me? Let's go smash. That doesn't happen.
There's still a transaction there.
Yeah,
both people are still providing something to then get to sex.
Well, no, both people are not providing something. Men are providing more because if you're getting to sex,
if you want to put a quantitative value on it, that's something else, maybe more. But they're still both providing something.
No, male is always providing more. Because sexual act within itself is exactly the same for a male and a female, right? But the male has to provide more to get that. So as a male, you're providing more.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can guys vent to their female friends?
Can what?
Can guys vent to their female friends?
Vent to their female friends?
Yes.
I mean, can you? You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yes.
Do you guys think it's going to bring any good results?
No, not really.
With that girl you've been friend zoned with?
What?
It depends. If this is someone like...
Just a female friend.
Okay, for example, right? For me, right, I have a sister that's 8 years older than me.
Yeah.
Right? I can vent to her. That's my sister. I have a long history relationship.
Yes.
And the reason I can vent to her is because she understands me. And this is what I'm going to go into. You can vent to anyone who understands you. Whether it's because they know you for a long time or because they recognize some kind of position you're in. Whether that's because man to man or, you work at Best Buy? I work at Best Buy too. Or, I don't fucking know. Anything. It has to be some kind of relationship. And that's with people in general. You can vent, especially if it's about that topic, right? Like I'm having a shitty time at work. Oh, you work at Best Buy too? Then there's a vent there that you can, get out and it can be efficient is what I'm saying.
So are you talking about vent about women? About women to your friend? Is that what you're talking about? Or
just vent in general? Like, do you have a specific topic?
Just vent in general. Like,
you can vent with anybody you can relate to.
I don't know. Like, let's say you have some type of problems or issues and you need to talk to someone. Can you talk to a girl?
Now, here's the thing.
And would that be productive?
I think
Yes,
98% of the dudes cannot be friends with girls. Like 98% cannot, right? Like there's a tiny little portion of guys that can, and most of the time those girls are like adding some sort of a value in a guy's life, right? Now those guys can have a conversation with their girls, and they're not necessarily vent, but you can have a conversation with them. I think if you're upset about something, come vent to your boys.
Convent to your voice. What do you mean by that?
Come vent to your boys. Come vent.
Okay.
So I don't know, because like for example, it all depends on the situation. This is what I'm gonna get to. For example, if I'm fucking mad about something with my parents, the best person I feel like for me can be my sister, right? Because she understands my parents the most.
That's it.
This is what I mean. This is why I mean it's situational.
Yeah, but in most situations, not I think 98% of the time, right? Let's say 90% of the time, you can go to your boy, vent to him, and he's probably gonna give you a better advice than a girl would ever do.
I don't always think that's necessarily true though.
Yeah, but
not 90% of the time, man. I feel like it's
So
situational.
So let's say this. You go into your girlfriend and you're venting about a girl. What is your girlfriend tells you? Be yourself. They're gonna like you, right?
Not necessarily, because this is what I mean. If they have to understand something, relate to you. If they understand your situation and understand you, right, as a person, and maybe even know the other person, right?
Yeah, but they can't. How they can possibly understand you when they don't live the same existence as you?
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. You know, of course, they're not living in your body and know everything you know.
No.
Right?
They don't live a masculine existence. They live a feminine existence.
But this is what I'm gonna go at. They still live a person's existence, which is people can relate.
Yeah, but we're not talking about people things. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about
no. He's saying people things.
Just people.
Yeah, no.
Just
yeah.
anything.
For people things, yeah. But I was talking about a relationship.
Specifically,
I changed it.
specific.
I changed
Okay,
it.
I get if you're changing gears, right? So, you know, this is the thing, right? Females, if you go to vent to something about a female about your relationship, right? Like when I go to tell Lynette back in the day when she still lived here, I used to talk to her about my relationship with Emily, right?
Yeah.
And Lynette is always just any female is going to be very good at telling you what the female automatically wants. Mm-hmm. Now, this is not necessarily what needs to happen, right? Like they're going to be able to tell you very blank and like general, like, yeah, she wants you to go say sorry and this and that, or just forget about it or whatever the problem may be, right? Now, if it comes to problems within a long established relationship, that's can get a little iffy, right? Because at the end of the day, I feel like when you're in a long established relationship, advice from anyone doesn't really go too far, right? Because that situation is very particular when you're with someone for so long. But if you're talking about like you want relationship for like some new girl you're talking to, right? Like, I know it's gonna sound cliche and maybe fucked up or whatever in some kind of way, but like I believe in the method of like you don't ask gazelles on how to get gazelles, right? You go and you ask the fucking lion.
Lion how to get a gazelle, yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, some people might not like that, but
it is what it is.
No, the bottom line, that's what I'm saying. So I say, you would never go wrong going to your boys with any problems you have. You will never go wrong with that, right? Unless they're fucking assholes. Then they need to fucking smack in their head and then probably need a better circle of friends, right? You're never wrong to go to your friends. They might make fun of you a little bit, but then they'll sit you down and say, okay, I think this is what you should do, right? You'll never go wrong with that. You can go to girls. I say go to girls that are near and dear to you, right? They're not talking about a mom, like maybe a cousin, maybe a sister. You know what I mean? Somebody that's at your age level, not a mom, because mom is gonna think, oh my god, mi Miguelito, who hurt him, right? Every mom is gonna be like that. My mom decides the same thing. I'm damn near 40 years old. My mom is gonna say the same exact thing. But what I'm trying to say, yeah, because and don't try not to be emotional around women to begin with, right? Because there's something that breaks in their head when you're emotional. They'll lose not interest. They'll lose confidence in you.
Why?
Because
I feel like depends on the stigma you've presented to the relationship.
Well, the stigma is like, if I were in a battlefield and my lieutenant came up crying to me saying, I don't know what to do, am I gonna trust him to lead the army? No,
but that's not the situation you're in. Your relationship with someone is very different than that, right? Like you guys are, in a sense, now trying to do something as one, move forward as one.
Bro, there's
right?
somebody's got to be the CEO, bro. I'm sorry. It cannot be 50-50. You can't have two CEOs of a company. You can't have two presidents of a company. You cannot have two persons in a household making decisions. It just doesn't work.
But you also can't have
You can have a totalitarian
dictatorship.
No, I'm not saying you shouldn't listen to your girl. You should listen to your girl, but ultimately the decision has to lie with one person. And it's better if it's with you, not with your girl, because the relationship would not be happy if it's constantly with her. What I'm saying is listen to her. I'm not saying just completely disregard what she's saying. Ultimately, the decision should lie with you. And that's what puts you in a leadership role.
I think ultimately the decision should lie with whatever's the better decision.
And that's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying don't listen to her. Listen to her. And if she makes more sense and it's a better decision, you still have the right to decide whether you're going to do that or no. You see what I'm saying?
I think what he's trying to say is you have to have the capability of being able to take a decision when the other person can't. In a sense, can't make their mind up.
Yes and no. So if you're having a conversation with your girl and she says something that makes total sense, right? And your opinion is completely wrong and you know deep down inside logically it makes sense that she's right. Decision should still be yours to do it that way. It shouldn't be like, I'm telling you do this because this is logical. You should be the one to decide this is more logical. We're going to do this.
I feel like it's a what I want to call a group effort.
But it's not a group effort, see?
It is.
It's not. Group effort would be like, we're doing a project. Or group effort would be, I'm cooking the meal and you're cleaning. That's a group effort. But what I'm trying to say is, like, okay, well, and you're like, let's have pizza. And she's like, no, let's have a salad. And then she's like, listen, we can't have pizza because we're getting fat and this is bad for our health. We should have a salad. You're like, damn, she's right. But it ultimately lays with you whether you're going to decide to buy the pizza or to buy the salad.
I feel like there's a back and forth there. Because you're saying it ultimately lies with you, but she's the one who made the decision.
She didn't make the decision. She aided you in making the decision. She aided you to get there. But you're the one that's ultimately making the decision whether yay or nay. Because you still can decide to buy the fucking pizza. Doesn't matter whether she thinks the salad is more healthy.
Why do you think that you... And then she can still go decide to buy a salad herself. What do you mean? Like...
You're not understanding. That is just a very simple example to illustrate what I'm trying to say.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like the dynamic of that situation is not so simple. That it all relies on the back and forth and agreeing upon which is more logical.
Yes, but ultimately the decision should lie with you.
I don't think that there's a. I think that that doesn't matter as much.
Well, it does within a relationship. Because if you're not within that leadership relationship, she's going to lose respect for you.
Listen, man. Listen. I know what you're talking about, and I hear you. But I feel that you're saying that she's going to lose respect for you.
She will.
I don't think she had a well foundation of respect for you in the first place, if something like that. Because you want to cry about something or break down emotions or whatever. Like, because any human being can. You now have lost respect.
That's slow.
You've talked about like you think you shouldn't cry in front of your woman because she'll automatically lose respect for you. I think that's bullshit.
Correct. Do you understand that installs a chip? In that it gives you the chink in the armor.
I think that you're thinking about it way too basic, and that the women's minds are way too basic on this situation. That because he's showing emotion that he doesn't have any.
I don't need to say this. This is not my opinion. This is through evolutionary psychology that this has been proven through evolutionary psychology. Like that guy has to be in a leadership role because that's one of the main things that girls look into when they're mate selecting. Being in a leadership position. I
get what you're saying. Women are attracted to dominance in a sense.
Correct. So if you start demonstrating signs of weakness, not being a leader, she starts slowly losing respect for you.
Respect or confidence?
Confidence and respect. When the confidence starts losing, she's going to end up losing respect for you. Because at the end of the day, she has to respect you. Simple. Like the best way I can explain it is this. So let's say a girl likes Chris Hemsworth, right? Chris Hemsworth's like, out of blue, messages this girl, says, hey, listen, I'm in France. come meet me. What is this girl gonna do? She's probably gonna look through her bank account, find the cheapest ticket, and fly out to meet Chris Hemsworth. Right? Majority of the cases, Chris Hemsworth really likes Chris Hemsworth because of his status, of who he is. But let's say there's a guy that's in France that really likes her, and she knows this guy, and she lives in United States. The guy lives in France. The guy's like, "Hey, I really missed you. Come out here, see me." What is she gonna say? Most likely, "No, I don't have money. You come out and see me."
I don't think that's necessarily true.
Well, it's just a hypothetical situation. Okay. What I'm saying is like they'll make rules for the guys that they have respect for, like unequivocal respect.
She doesn't like you enough yet.
Correct. That's my point. So that comes in with her having respect for you.
Respect, or she doesn't like you enough. I don't understand the respect.
She has to respect you because the like is not enough. I think she has to respect you more than anything before. Like all that like and love, all that shit is bullshit. She needs to respect you more than anything.
I don't know about that one, dude.
I don't know. I don't understand what you're getting at.
If your wife or girl does not respect you, your relationship is doomed.
In what way? What do you mean respect you? Like, what is she doing to disrespect you?
Not disrespect. See, it's not like disrespect. Like, I'm not even going as far as like trying to hit you or yell at you or say this or say that. Right? Like, if a girl ever does that to you, out the door. Don't even communicate with her. Like, if a girl ever raises their hand on you or raises her voice at you, like, no, bye, see ya. Because I'm not going to raise my voice at you. I'm not going to raise my hand at you. I expect the same fucking thing from you. You know what I mean? Like, we're not animals. We're not savages. You don't have to fucking scream at me. Or I don't have to scream at you to explain to you that this is not a good way to act, right? When I say respect you, meaning when you say, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do, right? And she's like, okay, I respect you enough. Maybe I don't understand why you say that, but I respect you enough to trust you in your guidance, and I'm gonna go with it. That's what I mean when I say respect.
I feel like that's I feel like that's what I mean. Like I said earlier, it sounds like you're describing confidence more than respect.
Confidence in your decision making, respect in your decision making, confidence in your decision making, that you're not gonna crash this relationship off the cliff. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But the minute you start,
respect is more ethical. Confidence is like, this person's gonna
guidance in their faith in their guidance.
No matter what, they're not gonna. Whatever they're doing is within the best interest of you and the couple itself. That's what I'm saying.
It sounds like confidence.
But the minute you break down in front of him, so the whole conversation, what it's about, the minute you break down in front of him, you slowly start losing that confidence in you because you're showing weakness in a time when they need you the most. You're showing a little bit of weakness, chink in your armor.
I disagree with that. The reason why is because, again, everybody's not going to be 100% every single day. And there's just going to be days where you're going to be
down. Well, unfortunately, that's the male burden of performance, right? Trying to be 100% every day. And
yeah, but not everyone.
Trying to be 100%, that does not mean that you're going to be 100%.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. As long as you're demonstrating that, that's enough, right? Like, everybody understands nobody's perfect, right? I'm not saying that you have to be 100% at all times, right?
I think that respect would be lost if you were to break down in front of people. Then I feel like then you would have to maybe say, okay, you would maybe say respect.
No, how is that? How would that be any different?
Well, because you are using respect for your guys' like family name and everything. You can know that other people are gonna look at him in this certain way. Because this is my thing, right? When you say, "Oh, if you cry, that's a chink in your armor." I feel like that's a very vague statement in the sense that it all depends on the situation because of how understanding she could be of some certain situation.
Bro, she couldn't be understanding. She could say she's understanding, but what I understand, you cannot change biology. You cannot change it. You can try it, but you cannot change it. It is what it is. That primal instinct in us. The primal instinct in these monkeys giving money to smash some pussy because they know the other monkeys, she knows by taking this coin, she can get food. Because that's what they want. They ultimately want food, right? And they understand this bartering. It comes natural to them, right? What I'm trying to say, that primal instinct, that biology, you cannot get rid of it. You can try to argue with it. You can try to sit down with it and have a conversation with your own biology. You can try to deliberate with your own biology, but you can't get rid of it. You cannot get rid of those primal instincts. Like,
let me ask you something, Jay. Would you rather have? This is gonna be funny.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a daughter who's a slut or a son who's gay?
Son that's gay. 100%.
Same.
Son that is gay, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is, I don't know what I would want.
What would you pick? What would you pick?
One thing is for sure, I do not want to have a bunch of guys coming into my house, bro, and having to meet a bunch of people.
Listen,
but either way, you're gonna have to. Either way, you're gonna have to do that. She's a female who's a slut, or a guy who's gay. You're gonna have to deal with dudes coming to the house.
Listen, if my son is a butty boy, it's okay. It's okay.
How much is
it's just fine.
How much of a slut is my gay son?
It doesn't matter. 365 days a week. Hell yeah, he's winning.
No. He's a normal gay guay. He's not a slut.
No,
but the
bro,
woman is definitely a
slut. They've done the research already. They've you know how.
I know. Gay guys fuck a lot. I know. You don't have to tell me. I know.
Fuck.
But I'm saying.
Look, he's getting mad if that ever happens.
Your gay son is not one of those whores.
He is.
Hey, man,
he's on Grindr.
He's not.
If I'm just
on
gonna
Grindr.
have
Stop.
another guy, maybe he'll become like my second son or something, bro. I don't fucking know. It's a tough spot.
Come on, I need you to
way.
pick, Miguel. Me and Jay picked real quick. Gay son, man. I'll take the gay son.
Give me the gay son. Give me the gay son. I'll take the gay son.
You guys convinced me.
Give me the gay son.
Oh shit.
No, gay son, 100%.
He's still a dude, so you're still gonna be able to mess with him. Like,
yeah, bro.
Hey, what were you doing right now? Sucking dick? What were you out doing?
You mess with him and stuff like that, but like, not like.
Don't belittle him.
Yeah, that's
don't belittle him and abuse him. No, I mean, like, when this man is like 20 years old and has skin to take a joke from his father. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No. There's not even a question.
You don't say that to a 12-year-old kid that just came out of the closet, right? Like,
but like the whole idea where you gave that proposition, neither one of us even like stopped for a second to think about it. Immediately was like, gay son. Like, there was not even a moment of thinking, like, you know what I mean? That's our biology, bro. Like, you cannot change that shit.
The thing is like, regardless of a straight, gay, whatever, like, we still have that innate thing, I feel like, where we want a boy, right? Like, regardless, it doesn't. I feel like you might have even been able to ask the question of like a normal daughter and a gay son, and a lot of guys might still say gay son.
I wouldn't care in that point, and that would be a harder decision for me, like gay son with a normal daughter. That would be like, all right, well, like.
He said, now the playing field's even.
Yeah, because in a whole value of a person, they're the same. Like, being gay is not a stigma for like being being a whore. Like, that's the reason I say this. Okay, so there's another book, right? Like, it's a really good book, and it's a fucking dark book, right? It's about why men behave badly, right? Like, that's the name of the book, Why Men Behave Badly, and this is talking about like grape and stigma. And stigma that's associated with the grape, and how evolutionary it has developed to be that way. The reason it's like that is because since back in the day when grape would have happened, this almost meant that this female would get pregnant and have a baby. So now there's a baby without a father, right? So the reason grape is such an important thing is like taking the choice away from women, right? To have a baby, like on the most primal level, right?
Right.
So, and that becomes a stigma where now you have a baby that doesn't have a father and things like that. So a lot less survival chance for this baby.
And yes,
now your mate value goes down within the marketplace, right? Because nobody wants to take you as a wife with a baby and things like that. So we've developed that, and getting to the point where having a daughter as a whore, we associate that shit with her being pregnant and having a lower value within the hierarchy of a society. You don't think about this shit until you start fucking analyzing. Like, you don't understand why you don't understand why you rather choose this and that without even thinking about it. You heard her daughter, nope, I don't want that. I don't care whatever the other options are.
Give me an ogre.
Yeah, give me an ogre. Like, I don't care. Like, but you immediately say that. But why? There's always a why you do that, right? Like, and this is where the whys come in.
Well, I feel like the first thing that came to my mind with the question of gay son and whore daughter is like, you can still have that man-to-man relationship regardless if he's gay or straight or whatever, right? And I feel like that's something that I desire, is to have a boy and make.
What's one thing that I'm really scared of? It's raising an asshole of a child, because I grew up with so little that I'd want to give them everything.
Yeah, But remember, adversity is what builds your children, right? Like, that's why I'm saying, if I have a daughter, she's going to have absolutely fucking everything she wants. If I have a son, he ain't going to have shit.
I feel like
she's
if I have
everything.
if I have a girl, she's going to be like a fucking princess.
Yeah, she's going to have to be an asshole.
You know, there's that thing, right? Like, a lot of guys are, you know, men are known for, when it comes to having their daughters, like, you know, that's my princess. She gets whatever she wants. 100%. Because you know that in your head, you're thinking, as the dad and as the man that's currently in her life, I'm going to make sure I provide everything she currently needs or wants.
So she gets used to that.
So she is expecting that within her man.
100%.
So that way she looks for a successful man who can provide.
Yes. You can provide and make sure she's safe and secure and everything is fine. And I could care less if she wants to become a engineer and this and that. Go ahead and do that. Whatever you gotta do.
The thought process behind that seems to be, if she grows up feeling like a bum, she'll be okay with getting with a bum.
But think about this for a minute. I think this was Zorka who said this, or one of them. They said this.
I don't like it already.
Yeah, he said, like, if the girls,
Zorka's so wild.
If the girls did not smash and stayed virgins, he goes, you understand that there would be a fucking Saudi prince right now knocking on your door, a billionaire, ready to wife you up, to make you the richest and the happiest woman in the world. You could have anything you ever wanted, live anywhere you ever wanted, have as many Birkin bags as you ever wanted, but they elect to go out there, and he goes, whore around.
No. They like to go around and whore. So Zerka's fucking insane, man. He does not give a fuck. I look at him as purely as an entertainer or a fucking comedian. What else? What can I say?
Who, Zerka?
Yeah. He's literally just a comedian troll.
He definitely has to have a lot. Like, he's very high IQ. Like, he has to have high IQ. Like,
you think so?
You because you don't respond. Like, his responses, like, they're not scripted. And he hits him back. He's quick, and the shit that he says is like, God damn, how did you just pull it out of his ass?
But at the same time, you're thinking maybe here and there, like, oh, how did he pull that out of his ass like that? Maybe something logical. But most of the time, Zerka is pulling shit out of his ass quick. I get what you're saying, quick, but it's troll stuff.
Oh yeah, it's troll.
It's
stuff.
all troll, extremist shit. You know,
100% troll stuff. But like the whole
the thing about how he says, I don't even want to say this sentence, but how he says he fucks teenagers.
Well,
you've seen that?
Yeah, he says that and then they'll go ask him like,
what are you
18,
talking about?
19 is
yeah,
a teenager.
He's like 18, 19. And then I saw this clip the other day. He was I saw it today actually again. He was on the street doing one of those street interviews, and they asked the girl, "Oh, how old are you?" And she said, "Oh, I'm 24." He goes, "Expired." And it was played that one song from the guy that's from the UK. Something about expire rated.
Yeah, he was walking in New York, and then he just stops, and this girl, like, super pissed off behind him, was like, "Why are you standing here and not moving?" And he turns on, looks at her, goes, "We're frozen. I don't give a fuck." And he starts laughing in her face, bro. And that's in New York when everybody's, like, running, you know what I mean? They're all on their mission, you know, and they don't want to stop. And
any closing thoughts, boys?
Anyway, closing thoughts.
No, I don't really have anything else.
Thoughts have been in our history.
Okay, actually, I have one more thing. Shout out Vitality again, first official sponsor of the podcast. Yeah. I was thinking we need to get something in here to show a little branding a little bit, but
we should be bringing the UFC Vitality branding in here too pretty soon.
Yeah,
UFC gym branding as well.
That too. But yeah, shout out Vitality Recovery and Wellness Center. If you guys are in the area and not checked out with Vitality yet, you guys need to go over there.
Yeah, and look out for
yourself right.
Yeah, and then definitely look out for UFC gym coming up near you in this area as well. That's gonna be a big as well.
Besides that, guys, that's it for today. And thank you guys for coming. Y'all have a great night. Love y'all. Shout out to everyone who came in the chat.
And thanks to your cousin for responding back and engaging with us. Thank
Natalie
you so much,
Natalie was very engaging today. Here, let's take a look at what she said real quick.
Whole bunch of shit.
So men are programming girls at a young age.
1% and boring them down from waiting to get after sex. Listen, I do not I do not for 1 second blame women for going after the most successful guys out there.
That's what they're...
I do not bash them. I do not blame them. And I think that's how it should be. It's every guy's responsibility to level up to be able to obtain the best girl that they possibly can obtain. That's every guy's job. It's not the girl's job. It's the guy's job. Girls have their own job to do, but that part is the guy's job to level up.